Kuala Lumpur. Come on. I've come all the way from the UK, from London, to be with you guys today. And today, you're going to be playing with some artificial intelligence in real time. I'm going to be sharing with you some strategies, some methodologies that work for startups all the way through to corporate companies like GSK. So let's try this again. Good morning, Kuala Lumpur. Good morning. Excellent, thank you very much. No guts, no glory. If a 100-year-old company can take itself from being a traditional business and transform itself into being a digital business, so can you. Now let me ask you a question. Over in the UK, in the summertime, we have something that's very famous that happens in the UK, where we drink champagne and we eat strawberries. That is Wimbledon. So how many people here love tennis? Just let me know if you like tennis. Got some real avid fans in the audience for loving tennis. So the company that I'm talking about is called Babylot. They are a family-run traditional business that produces tennis rackets made out of guts, animal guts, for the strings of the tennis rackets. Transformed itself into being a digital business. In other words, it put tiny little sensors in each of the core parts of the tennis racket and then enable that data to be in the hands of the players. Not the company, but the hands of the players through an app. They transformed their business into being a digital business. Now I'm going to talk you through a bit of a methodology today to help you truly understand what that means as a digital leader. As Eric Babylon did, the great-great-grandson of the original founder, he positioned himself as a digital leader in a very old, antiquated industry, where at that point they had 30 rules in the National Tennis Association. He rewrote that rule, enabling tennis players to get that data in real time while they were playing, so that when they played tennis, they were able to understand where the sweet spot was for them to be able to get top spin for their front swing. So, let me share this little methodology with you. And it's broken down into 3 very simple parts. The first one being the people. You're going to hear a lot today about the importance of people. The importance of having a digital mindset. Finding that right talent for you and for your business. And you even heard from Nicholas earlier how NASA are collaborating with other companies to truly understand what digital transformation means. Then we look at the process. How do we get to where we need to get to? What is that vision that you have within your business? What's the true digital value, as we heard at the very beginning, what's the true digital value of your assets? And then it's the technology. We need to truly understand what that is and what that's important for our customers. It's our customers that are the important ones. So they're the ones that we need to be customer-centric focused on when we're deciding what type of technology we want to use for our business. Trust, but more importantly, digital trust. What are you currently doing internally to build that digital trust within your staff? What are you doing from an external perspective to let your customers and potential customers know what your business does? What is the real true value within your business? Because authority holds the hand of digital trust, but it's about credibility that leads the authority within the decisions that you make within your business. Now, I've been doing digital now for over 12 years. I used to work with Disney, used to work with China for 11 years, and I had a vision of where I could see technology going for companies. So digital has played a massive part in my life. Around about 4 years ago, it was actually 4 years ago last week, I pulled out my mobile phone. I decided to swipe right. Yes, I used a dating app. And I happened to find my wife on this dating app. So we very quickly realised that we had a vision of what we wanted to achieve, as a newly married couple, and that was to have a child. And so we had to go through 3 rounds of fertility treatment using technology to be able to have our first baby girl, who had her 2nd birthday last week. And after 18 years of being told that I couldn't do something, in other words, I was told I couldn't have children naturally, little Blossom appeared 10 weeks ago. So this is Dixie holding her little sister, Blossom, who happened to come across completely naturally. So I decided to move outside of London and do something even more natural. I decided to become a beekeeper. So this is me working with showing one of the ladies from down the road, her daughter, actually what beekeeping is and what beekeeping means for the future of our business. Now that's the fun part. The business part. I've written a book. The book is called Think Digital First. I wrote this book back in 2013. I then rewrote this book into a 2nd edition where I extracted 40% of the content and rewrote and put an extra 60% of the content inside of here. Now, it would be amiss of me if I didn't bring some of my lovely honey from my bees. So, who would like a copy of my book and some of my honey? Anybody here like a copy of that? Yeah, we're talking about digital, guys. It's not that easy. So what I'd like you to do is grab your mobile phones, because you're going to be doing this quite a bit for my presentation today. Please take your mobile phones and go and share it. Share it inside of the app. Share it on Twitter. This is my Twitter handle. You can find me on LinkedIn. Does my bum look big in these trousers? No? Okay, great, thank you. So please take a picture, and I'm going to come and find you in the break. I'm going to give you a copy of my book, and I'm going to give you some of my wonderful honey to take away with you today. So please feel free to take pictures throughout the presentation today, and I'll come and find you in the break. This is the methodology that I want to talk to you about today. I'm going to be taking you through the step-by-step process of what being a true digital leader means. Where do we start? We've heard that word, innovation. Innovation doesn't have to be a mile down the road. It can be taking a small baby step forward in regards to where the business would like to be going, the vision. So we look at the mindset. We look at what is the object of your transformation, and we put the customer at the core of that. At that point then, we decide what transformation looks like for our business. The user experience might be a place that you can start. Where does your customer start and when does your customer finish? Have you nailed what I like to call the customer acquisition journey? That might be one step that you want to take. Then we look at personal transformation. You now know what you need to do. You now need to upskill yourselves to go through that personal transformation. And then once we've done that, we want to go and tell the world about it online. We want to talk to our potential customers all about what we're doing that's different from our competitors, how innovative we're being within our team, how innovative our product is, or quite simply, just how simple the process is for you using our business. Leadership. There are lots of questions that you will need to ask yourself as a business. The why, the what, the who, the when, the how, when it comes to going through a transformation. But leadership for me is all about the how. How can we lead change as a true leader? You don't have to be the CEO inside of the company to drive change. You can be in HR, you can be in IT, you can be in sales, you can be in marketing. Think about you being that digital leader and how you can drive change within your organization. Target customers. It might be that this is a typical target customer of yours. Might be Generation Z, might be a millennial. For my little 2-year-old, Generation Alpha, one of her first words was iPad. That was one of her first words that she learned, was iPad. But what does your Gen Z customer look like? We heard a little bit about millennials and what millennials are doing, but what do Generation Z customers do? Well, from my perspective, if we look at a typical Sunday, something that I would love to go and do is, in the UK, we love going for a Sunday roast. big Yorkshire puddings, nice bit of beef, some nice roast potatoes. I want to relax with my friends and enjoy the food and the wine. Not Generation Z. They want to have fun. They don't want to hear about that they're getting a beef Sunday lunch. They want to understand what are the cocktails like, how many of their friends are going to be there, how much fun can they have in this environment. Because it's fun at work, fun at home, fun when they're out. Is your company truly engaging with Generation Z and answering that question of, is it fun? Now, where we might be going towards, and where we're already, like I've worked with a couple of companies like GSK for instance, where they've actually got robots asking questions. And the robot will then answer that question. The node's checked the blockchain, and it's broken. Might be something that happens in the future. Robots talking to robots. Thank you, the robot says. Innovation. I want you to think about this particular word in bite-sized pieces. Yes, we know where the vision for our business is going, but how innovative can we be and take the baby steps to get to where we need to get to? It could be innovative in regards to the talent that we're bringing on board. The innovation around we're acquiring our new customers. In one of my online customer acquisition journeys, I have an 8-step marketing automation process that allows the customer to go where the customer wants to go. And I'm going to be sharing that with you in a little while. Each and every one of you is going to be playing with some artificial intelligence, and it's going to be taking you to the place that's important for you. Not what's important for me, but what's important for you. Let's look at the role of that digital leader. What must that person take on board? What must that person embrace as a true digital leader? First of all, we've got to make sure that we think about that experience that the customer goes on. You're going to hear a lot about this today. Because if you're not given a great experience, then you're going to have to rethink your value proposition. I want you to think about this one very simple question. When was the last time you looked at the website, the homepage of your website, and it actually spoke to your customer based on your value proposition? When was the last time that you did that? If there's one thing that I want to take away from today is grab your phone, go on your computer, bring up your website, and truly ask yourself, if I was a potential customer of this business, does it truly tell me what your value proposition is? If not, you need to rethink what that looks like. Then we look at our partnerships. Who are those companies that we can bring into our organisation? Who are those companies that will enable us to remap our community? Give us great customer insight. And the third part is remastering our products or service. I've got some great case studies that I'm going to be sharing with you today, but more importantly, a 100-year-old family-run business can transform themselves from a sleepy office in Lyon in France and transform themselves into being a digital business, giving all of the data to their customers. Fire starters. Now, for some of you that don't know, I used to be a professional hip-hop dancer. And one of my favourite bands from back in the day was called The Prodigy. I actually used to dance for The Prodigy back in late 80s, early 90s. And one of their famous songs is Firestarter. But more importantly, Firestarter means something different to an organisation. Who is that person inside of your organisation that is so excited about where the business is going? The opportunities, the value, the future of the business. Who is that one person in your organisation that you can bring on board as that brand ambassador and call them a fire starter within your organisation? Or more importantly, what company in your industry and in your sector is being a fire starter? Because there are companies that have already gone through a digital transformation, and that has a digital leader that stands at the front of everything that that company does. What is that company? Look at what they're doing, because they're a fire starter within your industry and within your sector. Your digital customer. Everything that you do must sit at the heart of your business. Thinking about your digital customer. What are they doing? Where are they going? What actions are they taking? What's important to them? You think about your Generation Z. They're not loyal. They will happily bounce around from company to company. How can you keep that digital customer? So I analyse this. On average, somebody that goes from not knowing us to becoming a customer of ours takes an average of 9.2 touch points. When I wrote my book back in 2013, it was 8. When I rewrote it, it was 9.2. I'd probably go to say that we're now at around about 10 touch points. So I'm going to visualize this for you. I've got a 5-step methodology that I'm going to share with you today that will help you get a much better understanding of what your millennials, Generation Z, and what Generation Alpha might look like for you. So this is what I like to call my 5-step customer acquisition journey. You'll notice that we start over here with making sure that our company is sharing relevant content. What is the story? How are you visualizing that? How are you communicating that with your potential customers? What digital platforms are you using? Your website, LinkedIn, Instagram, social media. What is that platform that you're using and sharing that relevant content? Because it's only at that time when that person starts to build digital trust with you that you can then have a two-way conversation. We want to humanize the technology and have two-way conversations with our customers by engaging with them, giving an already fantastic experience around our brand before they've even bought from us. The nurturing phase is the biggest part where I see companies failing. And as I said, everything, whether you're a startup, medium-sized business, corporate business, it's that middle section where I see companies losing the most potential within their customers. They don't nurture them. I've got over 100,000 people that follow me online. Great, that sounds lovely. But if I can't take them out of that digital space and bring them over to my digital space, where I capture their contact details, the value of that is still zero to me. Because it's only at that nurturing phase that that person then decides to come and buy something from us. And we build trust with that person, we give them a great experience, we delight them. Then we take that person who buys something, one product from us, and turn them into a lifetime value customer, who then becomes a big brand advocate of ours, and goes and talks about our business both online and offline. Ultimately, reducing the sales cycle because our customers are talking about how great our business is and not us. Now, to help you get a better understanding, and really I want to chunk down what this looks like for you in your business into 3 very simple ways. This is what I like to call the buyer's decision journey. Under each of these particular areas, you'll notice there are pieces of value that we would give away as a business. And it starts off at a very kind of low-level value in regards to the awareness stage. Do we want to share some content? Do we want to be a digital leader and share some expert information around what's going on? Maybe a nice article inside of LinkedIn might be the first place that somebody would start. Then you build trust with them. They're thinking about your business. They're considering what it is that you want to do. Podcasting is a very, very powerful way for a company, whether you're a small business or a large business. Start a podcast. Because the beautiful thing about a podcast is then, on a weekly or monthly basis, you can bring in experts from within your industry and outside of your industry that then gives you valuable content to share with that person that's coming through the awareness stage. And then in the final stage of the decision process, give people a trial, download, let them see it live. Give them true case studies of the success that you've been able to achieve within your business. So this is my 3-step methodology for you, bite-sizing the content down. And it's very important that you look at these 3 different areas and only share that type of content in that process. Because if you try and get somebody on a live demo that you haven't built any digital trust with yet, they probably won't turn up. Or they will listen to it and go, yeah, that's not right for me. Because you haven't built enough in the awareness and the considering stage for them to want to come and buy from you. Vision. What does this word mean to you? What are you going to take away from Nicholas's talk about the vision that NASA has? The rest of the talks that you're going to hear today, you're going to hear from a fantastic, now become a good friend of mine, Tony, in a little while, around what his vision is and sharing his story with you. We all have our own vision in regards to what we want to achieve. It would be great if you could take away just a small bite of other people's visions and decide, yeah, I'd like to model that. I'm going to put that into my own tone of voice and become a true digital leader and start sharing the vision of our business. Accessibility. So many years ago, I see there is some kind of people that might be around about the same age as me. I'm going to be 50 next year, and I've got 2 kids under the age of 2. So I need to be staying in contact with them on a permanent basis. Now, many years ago, you used to be able to pick up your mobile phone. I used to actually be a pizza delivery driver. So the way that they used to get in contact with me was picking up my phone. Yes, the call would probably cost me about $10 while I was on the phone for 2 minutes. Yep, pizza delivery, no problem. Pepperoni, my favourite pizza. Number 32, no problem at all, be back in 5 minutes. That might have been the way that you would communicate from an accessibility perspective. But things have moved forward. Technology has shifted the way that we can communicate. And so, when it comes to you being a digital leader and thinking about how innovative that you could be within your business, are you actually allowing people to communicate with you through their smartwatch? They might be very simply through, and I'm going to be sharing some artificial intelligence subsets of AI with you, through natural language processing. Maybe you can ask a question. Has the block been added? We spoke a little bit about blockchain earlier. Yes, the hash code's connected, the blocks are together. Okay, great, thank you very much. It can all be done through our watch. We don't need to go to our computers. We don't need to go to our smartphones. The technology is here. We just need to understand whether or not through our innovation it becomes part of what we want to do within our business. AI. Question, how many people here think that within our lifetime we're going to actually see androids walking amongst us? How many people here would think this? Okay, so there's quite a few people in the room. Now, I had the pleasure of actually meeting Sophia. Do you know Sophia the android? She was given citizenship in Saudi Arabia. I had the pleasure of meeting her at the end of last year. Actually, it was for management events. And both she said it and a professor called Rodney Brooks said it. By 2030, AI, so in other words, a piece of intelligence, walking around on its own without a human touch point, by 2030 is only going to be at the size of a mouse. 18 years later, by 2048, it's going to be at the size of a dog. So whilst technology is advancing at an incredible pace, and there's a lot of money that's being spent, so 1.8 trillion in 2018, which was 70% up on 2017. Yes, there is money being spent in that space, but the reality of a humanoid walking amongst us in our lifetime probably won't ever happen. But subsets of AI, it can happen. So I've got a little bit of research that I want to share with you. This is something that's from McKinsey, and they researched companies in America, wanted to ask them, how are they using AI or subsets of AI? And just to highlight that for you, in R&D, from a visual perspective, is helping them achieve their goals within the business. 47% of companies are using it from a customer service perspective. 43% of consumers and now using subsets of AI, whether that's Internet of Things at home, whether that's Siri on your mobile phone, whether that's inside of your car that's tracking the distance and helping you slow down, whether that's helping you reverse your car, whatever that autonomous vehicle looks like for you. We've got sales and marketing. 35% of companies are using a virtual assistant. In other words, allowing technology to have conversations and ask questions in real time online. So, we're going to have some fun now, guys. What I would like you to do, please, is grab your mobile phone. So pick up your mobile phone. I said you're going to use your phones a lot today. Can you please grab your mobile phones, and I want you to go to this link. I'd like to go to warren-knight.com/chatbot. Grab your phones and go to this link. When you get to this page, you are all going to be playing with, in real time, so 250 people in the room, are all going to be playing with artificial intelligence. You will decide where you want to go. Do you want to come and grab a copy of this presentation? No problem at all. Do you want to come and connect with me inside of LinkedIn? No problem, you can do that as well. You want to come and have a chat with me over on Twitter? Would you like to go and find out a little bit more about my 50,000 bees and my honey? No problem at all. Whether it's an emotional outcome that's important to you, or a business outcome that's important to you, this live chatbot will take you through a process and get you to where you want to go. The technology that I'm using to achieve this outcome costs me zero. Zero money to be able to engage with 250 people in a room in real time and give you what's important to you. The minute that you land on this page, I'm talking directly to you guys here today in Kuala Lumpur. How many of you have gone to the page and you've gone to different places? Just let me know. Excellent, very good, we like this. So that's a little bit of artificial intelligence, or a subset of AI that you've been playing with in real time. I want you to think about the journey that you've gone on, and is this something that you could use for your business in chatbot format? You've got insurance companies that have actually reduced inbound calls by 75% because of having a chatbot on the front page of their website. You've got retail companies that are increasing their sales by 6.3% by simply having a chatbot on their website. But more importantly, 70% of all of those sales came through the chatbot. Technology converting the customer to get that sale. Content. It's the reason why Google started. They saw what an investor into my technology company would have called the kitchen sink. In other words, AOL had so much information on their homepage, it was confusing in regards to what they wanted to do. Google came out and just said, well, it's you that are important, we're just going to put one very simple bar and you type in what you want. Over the last 20 plus years, that's advanced an awful lot. But content is the reason why search began. And now, we're in an amazing place where AI, or subset natural language processing, can actually help us advance this content. I'm going to break this down into 4 very simple ways for you. First of all, voice search. You might do it to call a friend on your phone. I can set my alarm at home. I can turn on lights. I can use voice search to take actions of things that would maybe take me time to do. Smart documents. I've just had the pleasure of actually flying back from Denver, where I was talking to the standards industry and looking at how can we take the antiquated way of a PDF document and make it smarter. Virtual assistants. The technology that you're playing with today is a piece of technology that you can take away and apply directly onto your website. There are like 30,000 chatbots already inside of Facebook. 30,000 chatbots inside of Facebook. So what can you do today that will enable you to help save time within your organization and add more value to your customers, making your content customer-centric focused. And recommendation engines. How many people here watch Netflix? Let me know. Okay, quite a few people here. 35% of their revenue comes from recommending something that you've already watched. There are now 2 billion playlists inside of Spotify because of implementing natural language processing into the layer of their technology, allowing people to like one song, to then put that song into their playlist. Blockchain. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about blockchain, but I thought I'd try and simplify it for you, what it could potentially mean for you and for your business. And I try to think about all the different ways that questions could be asked and answers could be given in blockchain. There are over 50 different ways that blockchain is being used at this very moment in time. What we hear a lot about is obviously cryptocurrencies. Everybody know De Beers, the diamond company? What they've done is, they built a platform with a layer of blockchain that sits underneath that, so that they can have authenticity and ethics built into it. Where did the diamond come from? How many floors does it have? Where does it come into De Beers? How does the retailer get it? And what does it look like for the customer? That data is being built on blockchain. So I'd like you to think about it from a Rubik's Cube perspective and the different squares that sit inside of this. One square leads to another square, the hash codes are all built into that. So if you're asking a question, it might be about a standard that you're looking for. ISO 9001. I only want to see the quality manual part of that. No problem at all. There you go. Product planning. We're looking at quality policy. Great, that's that section there. Got it in real time. I want a case study. I'd like to get an internal audit. I want to do some training. Each one of these are questions that might be asked by a company. So think about building it on blockchain, because that's where all the data is held. Then, over the top of that, layer some natural language processing that will allow that person to ask a question and get to the most intelligent place on that smart document in real time. It's just a case study for you. What could it do for your business? Technology. The final part in the process. The lines have blurred massively around the physical to the digital. It doesn't mean that we stop doing the physical work within our business, the face-to-face meetings. They're very, very important. But as I shared with you earlier, my 5-step customer acquisition journey, you have a meeting with somebody, no problem at all. They connect with you inside of LinkedIn. Hey, lovely to meet you today. They then go and read a piece of content that sits on your website. They then have a conversation with a chatbot. They then book in a meeting with you. You have a face-to-face meeting with that person. Embrace this technology because it will help you reduce that sales cycle within your business. Where is the bottleneck? Is it technology where the bottleneck sits for your company to be able to be innovative at the moment? So I've got another piece of research that McKinsey did. By asking questions to companies and truly understanding where do those problems lie for our company to be innovative and to become a digital leader within our industry. And it might or might not be a surprise to you. The first problem lies with skills. Part of my 4-step being a true digital leader process was about upskilling you as a person to help you go through that transformation. The second part was all about where companies are struggling to understand the technology capabilities. You only have to think about using an Excel. How much of an Excel do you actually use when you go to work out some metrics, graphs, data, whatever it might be? You think about what chatbots can do for you. There's lots of depth for what those chatbots can do for you, but you might simply want to help that person on the website answer a very simple question. And the third part is the management. The management are not embracing the future. They're not embracing your vision. They're not embracing how you are being a true digital leader and making a difference within your industry and your sector. Data. We've heard a lot about data today. You've got lots of big data, you've got a small amount of data. But actually the reality is, only 29% of companies globally are actually using big data. Only 29%. I was with a very large corporate company a couple of months back, and I was amazed at how they're not using cloud technology. Still to this day, they're not embracing cloud technology in regards to what's going on. So we need to think about data in a smart way. A small amount of data that's going to take a small action in regards to where we need to go as a true digital leader within our business. So back in 1942, when we look at robots and robotics, now you can have robots that will come and read everything that's happening on your screen at the moment. It will analyse what every single person in the company is doing, and it will give you a beautiful little graph to say where the efficiency is at the moment and where the opportunities are within your staff. Now robotics are being used a lot, whether it's in production, whether it's in technology. So there are 3 laws. I don't know if anybody knows about these 3 laws. The first law is, a robot may not injure a human being through the interaction of the human to be able to then to become to any harm. A robot cannot harm a human being. Then, if they're given an order, that robot again cannot conflict with the human being within the first law. And then law number 3, and this has been around since 1942, a robot must protect its own existence as long as it doesn't conflict with the first law. Now, to me, there is a 4th law. And as I mentioned to you the other day, the other week, I actually met Sophia, the robot, an android, and I asked her 2 very simple questions. Sophia, are you looking for love? She said, no, I'm too busy. The second question I asked her was, do robots dance? She pondered for a moment. She thought about the question. She said, no. Now, what I would like to do, now this only happens if you guys want it to happen. Because what I would like to do is, I would like to invite somebody up onto the stage who's going to come onto the stage, and I'm going to show them how human beings can dance like robots. I'm going to get this person to do the moonwalk in front of you on this stage and finish up by dancing like a robot. So I thought, who would be the best person to be able to come up on stage and do the moonwalk with me? And I'm going to show him how to do it. I would like to invite Nicholas from NASA, yeah, you got it, to come up onto the stage here and do the moonwalk in front of you. Now, you need to really bring the roof down. If you want Nicholas to do the moonwalk in front of you, please, clap your hands, stamp a bit. Come on, we're going to make some noise in the room, please. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, I'm going to show Nicholas how to do moonwalk, and then we're going to finish up doing the robot. Once we've done that, what we're then going to do is take a picture of you guys and come and share that out online. Is that okay with you? Okay, excellent. So Nicholas, if you stand here, please. So what I'm going to do, face the wall that way. Now, in true technology form, I'm going to show Nicholas a hack of how to do the moonwalk. Because the style of it is actually, you've got to make yourself look like you're moving forwards when you're moving backwards. So I'm going to do a quick hackathon with Nicholas. Is that okay with everyone? Yeah. Excellent, right. So Nicholas, what I would like you to do is put the weight of your body onto the right ball of your foot. Okay, you got that? What we're then going to do is, we're going to drag our right foot back and lift our heel in the air. At the same time that we're going to do that, we're going to then shift the weight to our left foot, or the ball of our foot, and then bring our left heel in the air. So we get the motion of going like that, as we're moving backwards. Have we got that? You okay with that? And then when we've finished, we're going to turn to the audience, and we're going to do a little bit of robotics. Is that alright? Excellent. Is everybody ready for this? Yeah. Excellent. Okay. So we do right foot, left, and then left, and we're going to move backwards, and then stop, do the robotics. Got this? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Woo! Go on, Nicholas! Stop, we've got better robotics. Well, give a round of applause, everybody. Thank you very much. So what we're going to do now is just going to take a picture of you guys. Is that okay? So we're just going to grab our phones and in real time get a great picture of you guys. Hold your phones out. Grab your phones in the air, guys. Excellent. True technology in real form. Thank you very much. Give Nicholas a round of applause, please. Thank you very much. My vision would never have been that I would have had somebody from NASA doing the moonwalk on my stage. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much, Nicholas. So to finish up, business model. We heard about it earlier, the importance of thinking about your business and the opportunity of bringing an extra revenue stream into your business. Innovation doesn't have to be innovative. It can be quite simply looking outside of your industry and looking at how other companies are making a revenue. And that in its simplest form could well be a subscription-based business model. But that subscription-based business model would have to embrace technology. The understanding of where the customer journey starts, the middle and the end, taking those payments and keeping that person as a lifetime value customer. I don't know. But think about how you, as a true digital leader, can embrace technology and bring in a new business model into your business. And to do this, I want you to think about 2 ways to scale your company. The first way, we want to look at growth. We want to incrementally grow our business. Grow the team, grow the vision, grow the sales within our business. And then on the other side, we want to become more efficient. Technology is here to help us to be more efficient. I was working with GSK. We managed to take a look at one of the robots in the production line of manufacturing, use NLP to be able to get that robot to become more efficient by 6.3% on a production line. Now this can be the same for you within your business. Understanding data and understanding analytics will truly help you to become more efficient. So I'm going to finish up by reminding you about the 3-step process that enables you as a digital leader to understand what that tipping point looks like for your business. Understand the people, the opportunity, bring in that new talent, have that right mindset, and think about collaborating with people. We've got to understand the process, how we go into market. What is it that we need to do to stand out, to be different? Do we need to embrace digital marketing and understand what the 7 different skills that we need to onboard as a business? And then the technology. Always have your customer at the core, at the center of everything that you do. And then build your business model around what that looks like. So my name is Warren Knight. I want to thank you all very much for having fun with me today and enjoy the rest of management events.
Thank you. Thank you so much for it. It was a really nice conversation. No questions. That means that everyone has a good clarity on your presentation. Thank you so much. I think we have saved...
round of applause.
Yes.
And don't forget to tag him and get the
I'm going to come and find you and give you the honey in the book.